Welcome to the second episode of What on Earth, and this one's inspired by the recent heatwave, which prompted me to think, what on earth is going on with our extreme temperatures? Now, 9 out of 10 of the hottest years ever recorded on Earth have been in the last decade. In fact, June 2019 was the hottest June we've ever seen, and July 2019 looks set to follow suit. In the UK, July 25th was the hottest July day we've ever seen, and it was only the second time that temperatures have risen above 38 degrees Celsius. Now, these records are being smashed all over Europe. It's not just in the UK, and we're seeing headline after headline suggesting that heat waves are becoming more frequent. And they are. As temperatures rise with climate change, these kinds of temperature extremes are becoming more common. Heat waves can be disastrous news in populated areas. While it might be fine when you're on the beach with a mojito, anyone who's ever had to work in high temperatures will tell you it makes things very difficult and it really reduces your productivity. Infrastructure like roads and railways just cease to function, and most importantly, high temperatures put those in our society who are already the most vulnerable at greatest risk. The young, the elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions are all much more vulnerable when the temperatures really rocket. Now, we all know that climate change causes global average temperatures to rise, but this masks differences both in space and time. So, for instance, the Arctic and the Antarctic Peninsula have both warmed by much more than the global average. The Antarctic Peninsula has warmed by around 3 degrees in 60 years. If we compare that to the global average, which is around 1 degree in 250 years, you can see how this global average masks different variations. While it's hard to attribute any individual event to climate change, what we do know is that climate change is making the chance of these sorts of events occurring much higher. If you think about global average temperature as the middle of a window, you've got cold extremes and you've got hot extremes. As that global average increases, the window moves with it. So those coldest nights are actually going to get warmer, but so too are the hottest days. That means that we're likely to see many more of these sorts of extreme temperatures in the future as our global average temperature creeps up the scale. Now, it's not just heat waves that we're talking about here. Extreme events also include things like drought, extreme precipitation events, flooding, all of which have a huge human impact. And in fact, it's not just a human impact. It's environmental, it's economic, and it's societal.